Expendables. Expend those 4 balls all day. There's only 4 balls left between all of them. That's how much damage they've taken. My relationship with the Expendables movies is a unique one. Is a fun one. Not unique, but fun. I remember seeing this as a double feature, me and Mark, one day with Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That was a fun day, actually. We actually liked Scott Pilgrim a lot more than we did than Expendables. Expendables was fine. But I remember watching it like, okay, this is a good concept. Get these older action stars. I mean, Terry Crews really wasn't into doing much action. Neither was Randy Couture. But still, it got them. Sly Stallone, Jason Statham, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in there. Bruce Willis was in there. Who else was on the original team? Mickey Rourke was in there. And, you know, I actually own the first 3 on DVD right over there. One day I'm gonna turn my Xbox back on and start watching my old DVDs. So I'm like, okay, this wasn't amazing, but I liked it. Second one comes. You had Chuck Norris, Van Damme, Liam Hemsworth for some fucking reason. Jet Li was in there too. I forgot Jet Li and Dolph Lundgren. Yeah, Dolph Lundgren, Jet Li. Arnold comes back. Bruce Willis is there. Who else did they add it? I can't remember. Did they add anyone else in there? Some random Asian girl, Chinese girl. I can't remember why she was in there. But yeah, no, it was that one. I think is the most fun of all of them because that one I think really embraced the balance of let's be badass, but also these guys. We also are these guys. Let's be these guys. So yeah. Like the whole, you get the Lone Wolf McQuade thing. There's a, when Chuck Norris comes out, that starts saying the Chuck Norris is, I heard you got bit by a king cobra. Yeah, and after 3 days of agonizing pain, the cobra finally died. Then the third one comes. Now the third one is where the chinks in the armor really start. How much longer can we keep going with this concept? Well, luckily we're like, let's get Mel Gibson. Let's get Wesley Snipes. Hell, Antonio Banderas. Bruce Willis was having some issues, and we now know why. Best of luck to him and his family for the aphasia. I can only hope my mind holds out for the rest of my life. Yeah, but you get Wesley Snipes. Hell, Kelsey Grammer had a nice little cameo there. But you get Harrison Ford replacing him. Then you're throwing Ronda Rousey. Well, okay, she's actually going to throw these other 2. I don't know who they're. What? Wait, what? And I like 3. 3 is fun. It is. But it does start to show the problems in the franchise where, A, we're running out of people to add to this shit. B, okay, because we're running out of people to add, let's start bringing in the new faces. New younger faces. And why? That's not the point of the Expendables. Sure, I get it. Can try to keep the franchise going, but I mean, the youngest guy on that whole roster, I think, is Statham. Is only now just hit his 50s. The man still looks like he's only hitting his 40s. The man still looks fantastic. If I do look half as good as Jason Statham does when I hit his age, I will be a happy camper. But you're lost. I haven't even really talked about this one yet. And the reason I haven't really talked about this yet is because we're doing this again. Because now we've lost a lot of the original crew, and they keep rotating in and out a little bit, but we've lost a lot of the original crew. We still got Stallone and Statham and Couture and Dolph Lundgren. Great. Now we got 50 Cent. 50. Okay. I guess he's an older guy. He could still be a badass, I suppose. We got... Hold on. I meant to actually get... one second here. We got... where are the... Jesus, come on. Give me the IMDb here, please, so I can actually get the cast list. There it is. Holy crap. We got... who are some of the other guys? Oh, here we go. Yeah, we got 50 Cent. We got Jacob Scipio, who's supposed to be the son of Antonio Banderas' character. Okay, fine. We got Megan Fox, who is the girlfriend of Jason Statham, who's also Expendable. Rita Ora is making her grand debut into film. Sorry. No, not Rita Ora. I'm sorry. No. Levy Tran. I thought it was Rita Ora. I could have sworn it was Rita. But Levy Tran, who I'm not familiar with Levy at all. Gorgeous woman. And spoilers to a little bit we'll talk about later. Action-wise, she's really good in the film, actually. She's really good in the film. She can do the action pretty well. Okay, I think I'm seeing a lot. She's done a lot of TV stuff and a few minor movies, but it looks more like she's probably a more of a physical actor. And we got two or three guys from there. We got Tony Jaa, we got Iko Uwais, and there was another guy from the Raid, Darren Nope, and Dan Chupong, I think. We got guys from the Raid, basically, and great, we got those guys. Those guys make sense to be here. But you're phasing out so many of the older actors because obviously they're getting older and some of them can't do this shit as much. For this younger who we're supposed to be endeared to, and that's not why we came to the Expendables. With all this being said at the 6-minute mark, this movie is not great. This actually is probably the worst movie I've seen this year. I say all of that. Let me preface that by prefacing this. I had a lot of fun with how bad it is, and there's some good stuff in the movie. But the script, the fucking CGI, this is some of the worst CGI I have seen in a straight-to-theater. Oh, God, I just checked the budget on this, too. $100 million. Are you shitting me right now? Was that only to Stallone and Statham's pocket? Was $50 million, that's where $50 million went? I get it's a big cast, but half these guys shouldn't even be pulling like $1 million for their paycheck. Seriously. And so, what happened there on the budget? Because this is the best directed. I need to take that back. I should say it's not the worst Expendables ever. It's the best direct-to-TV, direct-to-TV Expendables movie I have ever seen. And I will stand by it. What's that? I'm sorry. Sorry, the non-existent voice in the background is telling me, oh no, this was made for the big screen that you can go see on your XD screen, which I stupidly did because it was the most convenient showtime, or your IMAX, which it is on. This is embarrassing. The green screen alone is so painfully obvious that you can tell when it's a green screen just in a room. Like, they have locations, room locations, like Statham's and Megan Fox's apartment, a bar. You can tell that it's a physical place. No, the bar actually looked fine. It was an actually kind of cool atmosphere. But there are points where you turn around and actually see it's a green screen wall behind them. And I am watching that like, wow. The dialogue, isn't it? Half this dialogue is sex and dick jokes. Seriously. The first one actually had some pain. I still remember the scene in the first one with Mickey Rourke talking about his regrets and all that. I'm like, that was a legitimately good scene for Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke, when he really wants to actually be a good actor, can be a good actor. He's just apparently an ass, from what I'm told, and just I can't remember the last thing Mickey Rourke's been in. Oh, you know what? No, that's not true. There was some sort of like Medea parody movie coming out, and he does play the devil in a short clip, because whatever. I don't know what that movie is. I'm not saying that. But point being, it's like, this is just some cringy dialogue in so many places. The story, I am a little pissed I couldn't pick up the few of the plot. One plot twist I knew right out the gate. I could tell from an instant it was coming. That's a little later on. I will admit, for a little bit, I thought that the first twist... So, I'm not going to... This is hard to talk about without spoiling things. I'm not going to really spoil it. But something happens in the beginning that kind of sets in motion the whole rest of the film. And then it gets turned on its head and you realize, okay, that's not actually what happened. And I will admit, the payoff to that is a funny joke at the end on how it was pulled off. Because even I'm sitting there like, okay, wait. I get this, but how did you do that? Because we saw that. But yeah, let me at least start going to some positives first. The action is still actually pretty good. I mean, it's edited a little weird. It's choppy at points. But when you do see action, it is solid. It's good. It's reasonably good action. There's a couple cool stunts. Statham's kind of the headliner of this one. This is a lot more his vehicle movie. Actually, I had a check Rotten Tomatoes to see what the score was. 18%. And the critic consensus basically, actually, this was perfect. It really was perfect. Solid work from Jason Statham and some halfway decent set pieces aren't enough to make up for Expendables, lackluster action and cheap looking effects. That's pretty much it. I will at least defend the action a bit more. Like I said, when Statham and Tony Jaa are going on, and it's great to see Tony Jaa in something again. When Tony Jaa and him and what was the bad guy's name? Iko Uwais. We're going at. He's like the main villain that you see in the trailer who Jason says doing the knife fight with. When they're on screen and they're fighting, no, this movie's clicking. I'm like, yeah, Jason Statham's fucking awesome. And there's a point where Jason Statham's kind of kicked out of the Expendables for fucking up a mission, and he's looking for jobs. And then he's got to be like I actually think it's a funny. It's such a cliched character. But he's a private security for like a social media influencer. And I'm like, oh God, this guy's such a stereotypical douchebag. And he ends up beating the shit out of him. And everyone who's watching Vinny Day's live stream is like, oh my God, he's so hot. Dude, don't fuck with us. Like, I want to have his babies. Like, all right, that's kind of funny. But honestly, I'm just watching it like, damn it, if he wanted to do another Transporter movie, he could do another Transporter movie. Because he looks exactly as he does. He's wearing the suit, the tie, all of that. He looks like he does in the Transporters movies. And I'm like, I can't help but feel like maybe it's a nod to when he did those. So I'm like, if he wanted to do another one, he's good to go. Because the man can do action with the best of them. He is, I think Jason Statham right now, maybe along with Scott Adkins. Statham's a better actor than Adkins. Though Adkins is a decent actor, is all right. And you know what? Frank Grillo, too. Frank Grillo is another solid action star. But I think Jason Statham right now is the last truly legit action star. Like, he's the last one who can really make an action movie. And be like, yes, Jason Statham, kick some ass! I can't do that with Stallone anymore. At least not on his own. I can't do that with Schwarzenegger, at least not recently. Joe Manganiello hasn't led a movie, so I couldn't say yes or no about Joe Manganiello. But Joe Manganiello's in good shape and he does action pretty well. I mean, Jackie Chan can still do it, but he's up there now. John Wick, obviously. Keanu Reeves is still Keanu Reeves too, but Keanu Reeves now is pushing 60. Tom Cruise technically is still among them. He's in his 60s. I would also say he was just in John Wick Chapter 4. Donnie Yen to be up there, but it's such a handful, and I'm talking about like headliners. It's such a finite group that Statham's like one of the last true guys who can do that right now. Maybe in a couple of years we'll have some new faces on the screen, or new faces to usher in. But for now, yeah. But no, like back to Statham is legitimately good in the film. Like he's legitimately good. He's selling his lines fine. The dialogue is it is what it is. Sometimes it's so bad. Most of his dialogue really isn't that bad, fortunately for him. And he can deliver it well. Real quick, Dolph Lundgren is fine. Like, most of the acting is actually fine. Yeah, and like, even 50 Cent, even though his line delivery is a little bland, especially at points, it's fine. I actually started to like the, what was his name? The character that is supposed to be the son of Antonio Banderas' character. And they do say that that's his son. What was his name? Who was the actor? Jacob Sipico. I did grow to like him. Because I liked the Antonio Banderas character in the last one, and he is playing that up. But his line dialogues about like being a sexual like deviant or whatever, just talking about golden showers and like that crap. I'm like, what? What the hell am I watching? But Megan Fox, I was dubious when I saw she was going to be in the trailer, let alone one of the new leads. And the fact, like, okay, so her and Jason Statham are in a relationship. Well, Megan Fox from an age perspective, can I buy that? Megan Fox looks like she's still actually like in her late 20s. She's still she's very good, very attractive still. 80. Oh, she's only born 1986. She's only 3 years older than I am. Okay. So that would put her about 36, 37 now. So, okay. And Statham is, if I'm not mistaken, in his early 50s now. I believe that. Hold on 1 second. And you know, by the way, if you go to top IMDb, you know this is Jason Statham's movie because he got top billing. But let's see, Jason Statham. All right, they don't give me Statham's age here, but I believe he's in his 50s, if I'm not mistaken. Just hold on 1 second here. Let me find Jason Statham's age. How old are you, Statham? How old are your Stathams? Oh, he's 56. Holy shit, he's 56. Good for him. Oh, good for. I thought he was only like 51 or 52. 56? Good for fucking him. To be in that kind of shape, be able to do all that shit at 56? Good for him. And you'll know he'll keep doing it as long as he can. He takes great care of himself and all that. Better care than I do. I'm in decent shape, but I'm not Jason Statham's shape. That's for certain. But that's a bit of a hard pill to swallow. But Jason Statham is a guy, like I said, who has aged so well that he only looks like he's maybe in his 40s. So that actually is an age gap you could theoretically buy, at least just by physical appearance. I wasn't certain how I felt, specifically because of how we meet her in the film, where they're having a fight, and not the fight you see in the trailer, by the way, that is edited differently. No, they're having a just shouting match kind of fight. And she's being like, I am totally done right now. No, oh, you think we're done? Are we done with this conversation? I'm like, and you're maybe my boss. Like, oh wait, oh shit, she is. Oh shit. Once we push past that, she's not terrible. I will admit, when they have the fight in their apartment that you see in the trailer, it's kind of believable to a degree. They probably got a stunt woman doing a lot of that shit for her, honestly. She's not terrible. And I know for a fact Megan Fox actually is not a bad actress. I know she's actually capable in other roles. Was it Angel Heart or something like that? She actually plays an angel or something like that. She's with Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke's also in that. She's not a bad actress, actually. I think she gets a lot of flack for just being, the Transformers girl, which, by the way, she made enough money on those she doesn't actually have to work ever again. The Transformers girl, or Jennifer's Body, which honestly, she's actually not bad in Jennifer's Body either. But yeah, she's not terrible. I'll be honest, I think she's just dolled up too much for them. She looks good. She's very attractive with her makeup on, but I think she legitimately doesn't look grimy enough for this movie. Levy Tran looks grimy enough for this movie. When I say grimy, I mean you work. You get dirty, physically dirty. You're willing to do that. Levy Tran actually does look that way. And again, I believe it's Levy Tran. I could have swore Rita Ora was in this movie. Because if you read trailer I got here, Garcia Couture was judged. Okay, no, yeah, she's not in there. All right. But yeah, the acting isn't terrible. It's just that the script is god off. It's a basic premise: steal nuclear weapons, same old. Start World War III. They even say it in the trailer. And there's some great set piece, the whole set piece on the boat. That's a shitload of fun. That's legitimately fun, I think. But it's just wrapped up in terrible effects, shitty dialogue, and this incessant need to throw in new characters when we want to be seeing these older actors and older characters get in here. I mean, just hypothetically, is there any other actor or actress who has maybe been around for a little while that I could throw in here as a suggestion. I'd say Mila Jovovich, Kate Beckinsale, Sigourney Weaver. Who am I? Hell, I'd throw Zoe Saldana in that mix. As Angelina Jolie would theoretically be on that list. She's done enough action that in Lara Croft and all that you should be able to counter. That's 5 women who are who have done action movies. Who could have been? Maybe you did call them. Maybe they turned it down. I don't know. I'm just saying. But who you could have called, and hopefully you could have gotten in there. For older actors, you could still have in this movie franchise. You have Danny Trejo. Trejo would fit perfectly into this series. Are you kidding me? He doesn't even have to do a lot of the physical stuff anymore. If he doesn't want to, he gets stunt double for that. He can just shoot stuff or do the machete stuff. There you go. But Danny Trejo. Look, say what you want. Steven Seagal, if he wanted to be in there. Mike Tyson, not joking. Mike Tyson, you threw 50 Cent in there. Mike Tyson's done some films. Hell, he was in an Ip Man film with freaking Donnie Yen. By the way, Donnie Yen. Freaking Jackie Chan. Scott Adkins. 6 people off the guy list. 5 off the girl list. All of them would have been better than Megan Fox. Megan Fox and 50 Cent. And this other guy. There's one shot in the movie where they're seeing the dog tags hanging, and that is a sign of your lost brothers are always with you in the Expendables. But I'm wondering if that's their excuse they're making for not having other actors in. Like, for example, Terry Crews lived through the third one. Did he die afterwards? That'd be a piss. Could they just not get Terry to be in part of this? Did it not ask Terry? I don't know. Terry Crews was in the first 3. I love Terry Crews. Terry wants to be in the Expendables. We're watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Is Terry... we know Jet Li and Arnold are actually probably still alive in this world because he went off to work with Arnold. So they're fine. Chuck Norris works on his own, so we know he's fine. But what about the Asian girl? Maybe she's doing her own thing, but did she die? What about Wesley Snipes? Antonio Banderas? Are they dead? Could you not get them again? I don't understand. I don't understand. Why? Oh, Jesus. Look, is this the worst movie I've seen this year? Yeah, it's the worst movie I've seen this year. Is it the 18% on Rotten Tomatoes bad that Rotten Tomatoes is saying it is? Look, I don't think maybe it's 18% bad, but I'm also not going to argue heavy against the 18%. Do I think there's some decent stuff in here? Yes, I actually do think there's some decent stuff. Jason Statham is still. This is of the 2 movies he did this year. Meg 2 and this is the better movie. This is the better Jason Statham vehicle, 100%. There's still some really good action. It's fun to still see some of these actors come back. Once in a while, there's a joke that does work. And like I said, the action and stuff is still relatively solid if you can get past the god tier awful. And I am not being I'm not being joking when I say god tier awful special effects. Like, you were on location the majority of the time in the other 3. I still noticed when there was some CGI used, but still, you were on location for and you can tell they're on location for like 1 or 2 of these places. Like, they go to, I think Jason goes to Thailand real quick at one scene to meet Tony Jaa's character. They're clearly there in that scene. Could they not be there for? I just don't know. My brain's breaking. I don't know. Oh, God. Well, the question I pose to all you folks out there is, A, what did you think of the movie if you've seen it? Do you think you'll be seeing the movie based on my sterling recommendation? And how do you think this movie's going to do this opening weekend? Because again, The Expendables is a franchise where I don't have a good pulse. 1 second here. All right. Thank God. Almost had an ad start playing. In fact, actually, I'm going to turn the volume down on that video real quick so nothing starts playing. But I'm going to just go look at the box office mojo real quick to see what do the Expendable movies do opening weekend and long term. So let's see here. Expendable. Everyone of us is. By the way, Expendables really had that benefit of not think words having that song there from Shinedown. It's like, I don't the world be fine. The story is just beginning. Look, I mean, they might not like Shinedown, but that's all good. I like Shinedown fine. There's also They Were Expendable. So let's see. Expendables 2010 seemed earlier than that. Had an $80 million budget, opened on $34 million, and made $274 million. Made 100% sense to make a sequel. Expendables 2 opened on $28 million, made $100 million, but still made $314 million. Logical you'd make a movie from that, a sequel from that. Made more, even though it made on more, not much, and it made more. Expendables 3, which was made 2 years later. Now, this one was made, this one they don't list the budget, had an opening weekend of $15.8 million, but made $214 million. So clearly, they found a way to do the budget that must have gotten the budget lower. I think I remember it like being at $75 million or something like that. Hold on, Expendables 3. What was the budget on that? 3. Let's see here. Do we not have a budget listed, folks? I mean, this movie's, only 9 years old. Do you think they'd list a budget? What was it made on? Okay. It was estimated to be made on 90 to 100 million, so 95 million. A little more than the first one, but a little less than the second one. So, sounds like it made enough money to get another sequel, or just broke even enough so that they're giving it one last go. Now, I don't know what the box office is going to look like this week for it. I don't know what's projected at. I know the reviews are terrible. So, while I do still think it'll be number 1, I will not be shocked if it makes around what the third one did. Probably make a little bit more, I guess. But then again, I thought Hunting in Venice was going to make more than it did. Well, look what happened there. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this. It's a fun train wreck. I'll give it that. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.